Hello, Year 2, and welcome to today's reading comprehension story, questions and answers. It was Monday evening at Cobweb School for Young Witches. Tabitha and her friends took their seats as their teacher, Miss Brewer, walked into the classroom. She was the strictest teacher in the school. "Today is a very important day," announced Miss Brewer. "The head witch will be coming to inspect the school, and we must all be on our best behaviour." Tabitha looked worried. She wanted to impress the head witch, but sometimes her spells went wrong. Tabitha needed a brilliant idea. At playtime, she crept into the library and found a dusty spell book. Inside it, there was a brain box spell. "This will make me really clever, and that will impress the head witch," she thought. She took out her wand, but before she could cast the spell, she heard some footsteps. Tabitha knew she wasn't supposed to be inside at playtime, so she read the spell quickly and tried to remember it. "Swirling, twirling, whirling too, make me smart with a bibbly boo." Then she slammed the book shut and raced outside. When no one was looking, Tabitha started to spin. "Swirling, twirling, whirling too, make me smart with a dibbly do." And with that, there was a huge puff of smoke. When Tabitha returned to class, Miss Brewer was angry. "What will the head witch say when she sees this?" she asked crossly. "Of all the days to have a cat in class." Tabitha explained what had happened. "I must have got the spell wrong," she said. "Well, make sure you change yourself back into a witch before our special visitor arrives," said Miss Brewer. But Tabitha didn't know how. At lunchtime, Mimi offered to help Tabitha. "I know the brain box spell," she said. "If I cast it on myself, I will become clever enough to change you back." Mimi started to spin. "Swirling, twirling, whirling too, make me smart with a wibbly woo." And with that, there was a huge puff of smoke. Miss Brewer looked angrier than ever as the two young witches explained what had happened. "I must have got the spell wrong," said Mimi. "Of all the days to have a cat and a zebra in class," said Miss Brewer. "Just make sure you change yourselves back into witches before our special visitor arrives." But Tabitha and Mimi didn't know how. When Miss Brewer left the room, Agnes offered to help them. "I know the brain box spell," she said. "If I cast it on myself, I will become clever enough to change you back." Agnes started to spin. "Swirling, twirling, whirling too, make me smart with a hibbly hoo." And with that, there was a huge puff of smoke. Miss Brewer's head looked like it was about to explode as the three young witches explained what had happened. "I must have got the spell wrong," said Agnes. "I'll help," said Freya from the back row. "Swirling, twirling, whirling too, make me smart with a ribbly roo." "No, that's not it. Watch me," shouted Beatrix, coughing in the smoke. "Swirling, twirling, whirling too, make me smart with a gibbly goo." One by one, each young witch tried to cast the brain box spell on themselves, and one by one they got it wrong. Soon the room was full of animals. "That's enough," shouted Miss Brewer sternly. "Do I have to do everything myself around here?" She took out her wand and started to cast a spell. "Nimble, bimble, mend the glitches, turn these creatures back to—" Achoo! Miss Brewer sneezed, and with a puff of smoke, turned herself into a giraffe. "Oh no," she cried, "of all the days to be a giraffe." Just at that moment, The door opened and in walked the head witch, who looked very shocked indeed. She turned to Miss Brewer, who was explaining what had happened, and began to laugh. What a welcome, the head witch chuckled. I just love to see young witches who want to give things a try and help each other out. Miss Brewer stopped looking so worried and began to laugh as well. Now, said the head witch, putting some ticks on her inspection sheet, I'm feeling quite left out. Who can turn me into a unicorn? Tabitha raised her paw. I don't know if I can, she said, but I could give it a try. Just do your best, said the head witch, and don't worry if it goes wrong. I always did like surprises. Oh, children, I enjoyed that story. I hope you did too. The questions are as follows. Remember to pause the video as you write the answers in your exercise books, the ones with the lines in. Question 1. How is Miss Brewer described? Tick 1. The funniest teacher, the scariest teacher, the strictest teacher. Don't forget to pause the video and go back to find the correct page to find the answer if you need to, if you can't remember. Question 2, what is Tabitha worried about? Can you remember, children, what Tabitha was worried about? Question 3, underline the verbs. You know what verbs are. In this passage from the story, at playtime, she crept into the library and found a dusty spell book. Okay, it says underline the verbs. So because it's in the plural, you know there's more than one in that sentence to underline. Question 4, draw a line, you're really good at these now, to match the word to its meaning. So you've got to turn yourself into a dictionary and you've got to figure out what the word inspect means, cast and chuckled, and match it over here. Okay, with the explanation of the word. So we've got cause a magic spell to take effect, to laugh or giggle, examine someone or something closely. Question 5, what did the other witches offer to do to help Tabitha? They were very helpful friends, weren't they, children? And question 6, why do you think the head witch laughed when she saw Miss Brewer and the witches? I think you'll have a good answer for us there. Okay, so once you have recorded all your answers, get your green check and change pencils out if you have one, and let's go through the answers. Question 1, Miss Brewer was the strictest teacher. I think you all remembered that. What was Tabitha worried about? Tabitha wants to impress the head witch, but sometimes her spells go wrong. So do you remember she went off to the library, didn't she, to find the brain box spell? Didn't quite work for her though, did it? Question 3 was underline the verbs, and I said there were more than one, so I hope you underline crept and found. Question 4, inspect means examine someone or something closely. Cast, cause a magic spell to take effect. So you say the witch cast a spell. Chuckled, to laugh or giggle. I'm sure you got that one because you're all good at laughing and giggling. And chuckling, which means to laugh or giggle. Question 5, what did the other witches offer to do to help Tabitha? The other witches all offered to help by performing the spell on themselves. They then hoped to undo Tabitha's spell, which went wrong. Unfortunately, none of them could remember the spell either, could they? The correct words, children. Question 6, why do you think the head witch laughed when she saw Miss Brewer and the witches? Well, the head witch thought they all looked funny, and she was impressed that Tabitha wanted to give something a new try. She also loved that the other witches helped Tabitha out, but she was laughing because all the witches had managed to turn themselves into one kind of animal or another, hadn't they? Even Miss Brewer herself. Okay, children, well done if you've got all of those right. Give yourself a big 6 out of 6 at the bottom of your page if you did. Well done.